Good morning, people. I know it's been a while since I did a video, but I'm back at it again. I had to, this been on my mind for a couple days. So I figured I might as well go ahead and do a video before I head off to work. And it's this Lil Nas X video, which I'm sure mostly all of y'all done seen it by now. Called Montero, Call Me By Your Name. So as you can see, the devil is just getting bold. I mean, bold to the point where he's coming after our children like never before. This is the hip hop agenda, the gay agenda that they pushing on our children. Okay, so it's no surprise to me. First of all, I'm not even shocked. Because we living in the last time, so the devil he's bold now than he ever was before, because we living in the last times. But it's like, what is it gonna take for people to realize, like what, and the type of boldness that's displayed in this video? It's almost as if the devil is desperate. You get what I'm saying? The type of boldness displayed in this video, he's desperate. He's making his last attempt before Christ's return, before the rapture takes place. He's making his final attempt, and it's really disturbing because it's our kids that's being affected by it. You know, it's the 4 and 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds and teenagers that's gonna see this video. And what do you think these little boys is gonna think when they see this video? See, in this hip hop industry and in Hollywood, period, it's certain things you gotta do in order to get to the next level of success. Like Meek Mill said, there's levels to it. And I know, because I'm a hip hop artist. I was the freestyle champ on 95.5 2 years in a row. And 2011 and 2012. And this is when I first found out about the Illuminati, when I was told in order to take my career to the next level that pretty much this is what I would have to do. At the time, you know, I had Sony was interested in me. You know, I had a couple labels interested in me. But when I found out about the Illuminati and the steps that I would have to take in order to be successful, number one, it shook my reality. It made me take a step back, and I started to do my research. I felt like I was in the Matrix. You understand? I felt as though I had taken that red pill, and I began to see things for what they were. And I began to put pieces to the puzzle. You know, Tupac was my favorite rapper, and Tupac was even mentioning the Illuminati back then, but I ain't pay too much attention to it. I was a teenager, you know. Back then it just, you just hear the music, you bob your head, you listen to what the rappers say, but your mindset a little different. So when I found out, and when I found out that this is what I would have to do to take my career to the next level, that's when I started to do my research. And the more I researched, the more I found out. And the more you find out, it's like a kid finding out that Santa Claus ain't real. You still gonna enjoy Christmas, but you're not gonna enjoy it the same way that you did before you found out that Santa Claus wasn't real. You know, I can remember at 3 or 4 years old, waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and seeing my mother putting the presents under the tree. And it blew my mind. And I went back into the room, and I woke up the next morning, and I still was excited, to open up the presents, but I just knew that Santa Claus wasn't coming down no chimney. The Santa Claus wasn't eating no milk or no cookies. I mean, just the fantasy part about it, the illusion of Christmas, from that point on, it was different. So by the time I was in elementary school, kindergarten, first grade, When kids was talking about Santa Claus, I already knew Santa Claus wasn't real, but yet and still, I was still excited to, to be able to get some toys, to get some presents. So, I still enjoyed Christmas, but it's just that I knew that the illusion and the fantasy of what was behind Christmas wasn't real. So it's the same thing when you find out about the Illuminati and the secret societies and the things that go on in the music industry and the entertainment in general. Once you find out what's going on, it just causes you to look at things different. You can no longer enjoy the music the same way you did before you found out, because now you know that these artists write their songs in witchcraft language. So every word that they write in witchcraft language means something different. So when we sing these songs, we think the word love means love, but in witchcraft language, the word love means something different. So now, even as a child of God, they can't cast a spell on you per se, but you can put the spell on yourself by singing the songs, right? And so they strategically write these songs in the witchcraft language, which they're giving Satan praise, and they're casting spells on the artists, and we not aware of this, so we just singing the song. But think about it. Why, when certain songs you listen to, it puts you in a certain mood. When you listen to a song about hustling or robbing or killing, it'll put you in that mind frame to want to do that. Okay, when you listen to R&B songs, now the lust spirit gets on you and it puts you in the mind to want to go have sex. You see, so they strategically write these songs, okay, with different frequencies that get into your subconscious and it affects you. Okay, and I get into that on a later video in more detail. Okay, I don't want to go too deep, but basically what I'm saying is, when you find these things out, you can't enjoy the music the same way a person that has no knowledge of it can. Now, when you hear songs and you hear certain words, you're aware of what's being said. So you just can't enjoy it the same way. You look at politics totally different. Now you're looking at voting totally different, because it's all a game. It's all a part of a strategic plan, and it's everywhere. All of your presidents in these secret societies, mostly all the people that you look up to in this world, had to do evil in order to get to the top. And so it's no different with the music industry. That's why it doesn't take me by surprise. Yet Satan's time is running out, and so he's getting bold, because he's after all of our souls, but more importantly, he's after the children. He's after their soul. So it's up to us as the parents to monitor what our kids watch, because they're really trying to push this gay agenda on our children. They really trying to feminize the black man. And who do they use to do it? They didn't use Young Thug. They didn't use Kanye. They didn't use Lil Wayne. Come on, man. The list goes on and on. They're using these artists to feminize our children, especially the young black man, right? So in this Nas X video, let me just get straight to it. I can get deep into the music industry in Hollywood, and I will. But this Nas X video, it starts off with him in the Garden of Eden. Okay. And he's playing the guitar and he's naked. He's naked, representing him being in his innocent state, just like Adam and Eve was before they ate of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? They was innocent. The serpent is around the tree, and Nas X is pretty much having a conversation with the snake, with the serpent, the same way Adam and Eve did in the garden, right? And he then becomes seduced by this serpent, and him and the serpent start having sex. Okay? And then he ascends pretty much into hell on a stripper pole and gives Satan a lap dance. And throughout the video, before he gives Satan a lap dance, when he ascends onto the pole, down the pole into hell, then it shows him being in chains or whatever. Because truthfully, these artists are in chains, right? So this video has a couple different meanings, but basically, not only is it blasphemous, but this video is also showing you what these artists have to do in order to get their fame. You can believe it or not, but I don't care. I'm telling you, your most gangsterous rappers have to do the same thing that Nas X did in this video, and that's basically what he was showing you. Your most gangsterous rappers, whoever you can think of, your most gangsterous rapper that had to do the same thing Nas X did in this video, right? So he's in chains in the video, okay? And all the artists, everybody in entertainment is pretty much in chains. They don't control themselves no more. The devil controls them. They've made a deal with the devil, right? They have so they have to abide by those rules and stipulations. And let me let you know, they got dirt on each and every one of these artists that they can expose at any time. You think it's just Bill Cosby that did what he did? You think it's just R. Kelly that did what he did? Nah. But when you get out of line, they expose you and they humiliate you. Okay, so all these artists are in chains. So in this video, Lil Nas X ascends down on a stripper pole. He's in chains. Then he gives Satan a lap dance. And at the end of the video, he snaps Satan's neck. And then he puts the crown on his head. Okay? So these artists, these celebrities, when they get these deals, they have to do the same thing. They gotta go through a gay ritual. They gotta have sex with another man. Males have to have sex with another male, and vice versa. And that's what they have to do. And once they do that, once they play by those rules, then they get to put that crown on. Now they get rewarded. And that's just one door to get through Hollywood, right? That's one door. But then you have the blood sacrifices. That's another door, right? And then, you have the gay rituals, and then you also have the blood sacrifices. So Lil Nas X just showed us that pretty much this is what we have to do, and before we get that crown, this is what we have to do. That's one meaning to it. And at the same time, he's a Luciferian. All these artists worship the devil. I know you don't believe it's true, but do your research, because that's what he was showing us. All these artists worship the devil. Okay? So at the same time, it's pushing that gay agenda on our children. And then he come out with some 666 shoes, some retro 7s from Nike. Now, how much more bolder can you get? Y'all don't even know Biggie Smalls was coming out with a clothing line called 666 before he died, but it never came to pass. Now Lil Nas X, targeting this generation, coming out with the retro 7s. I believe they came out yesterday. I don't know if they, I know Nike's in the process of suing Lil Nas X for those. But nevertheless, coming out with some shoes, some 666 shoes, retro 7s, with a scripture, Luke 10:18, on the shoe to blaspheme God. That scripture reads that when the disciples had came back from going out by two, like Jesus had sent them, they was excited because, you know, they was able to cast out devils. So they came back to Jesus and was telling them that, you know, even the devils are subject to us through your name. And he just told them, look, I beheld Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Yeah, Satan is subject to me. I got power over Satan, right? You know, Satan is the fallen angel, but I got power over him. I kicked him out of heaven. Y'all excited that he's subject to of course he's subject to my name, right? So what does Nas X do? He gets that same scripture, Luke 10 and 18, on the shoe, right? And then at the bottom of the sole is one drop of human blood. Now, where do you think they getting this human blood from? That's a whole nother topic. But again, the blood sacrifices. Okay? But so the shoe has one drop of human blood in it. It has Luke 10 and 18 on the shoe. They selling the shoe for $1,018, which is Luke 10 and 18. And it's only 666 pair being sold. Now, whoever buys these shoes and put these shoes on, I'm sure they're going to be under some type of demonic possession. You got to literally be out your mind to want to wear those pairs of shoes, right? But these are the times that we living in. So not only through the videos he promoting the gay agenda and openly, blatantly worshiping Satan, now they want to have our children walking around with 666 shoes. Come on now. Come on, look. I can't make this up, man. We in the last days, right? So I just want y'all to keep y'all eyes open and watch what your children are watching. And be mindful of what you watching and what you entertaining. Because like I said, these songs are written in witchcraft language. And when we sing these songs, we cast these spells on ourselves through the songs that we listen to. You know, these artists have to sell their soul in order to get to that level. And look, the devil even tried to, I'm gonna do one scripture. You know I normally hit y'all with a lot of scriptures. I ain't gonna hit y'all with a lot of scriptures today, right? But let's go to Matthew chapter 4 real quick. I just want to show you this because this is even in the Bible. Matthew chapter 4, right? And this is when Jesus was even tempted, and the devil made Jesus the same offer that he's making these celebrities today. Look, Matthew chapter 4. This is when Jesus had went to fast, right? Matthew chapter 4. We just gonna start at verse 1, and I'm gonna just read through it, and you can go back and look at it on your spare time. But it says, then Jesus was led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward a-hungry. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and he said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on the pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Jesus said unto him, it is written, again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Jesus unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. So we see in verse 9, it says, and the devil saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. And that's the same thing he tells all these celebrities. You want to get to the top? in your music career or your acting career or even in sports or even in the political arena or even in, look, whatever area you choose, if you want to make it to the top, he said, I give you all these things if you bow down and worship me. So this was going on way back then, right? So this Lil Nas X video, Lil Nas X ain't do nothing but just pretty much show us what these artists have to do in order to get crowned. That's what he did. And in the process, you know, they blaspheme God because that's what they have to do. They started it off with the Garden of Eden. You know, it's a lot of rituals within this video. I really can't break it down and get too in depth because I'm about to get ready to go ahead on to work. But I really wanted to just touch on this topic because the devil is really getting bold. And it's time for us to take a stand and choose whose side we on, because we don't got as much time as we think. You know, I know people done forgot about the pandemic, and you know, things are somewhat getting back to normal. They starting to open up things more, but don't forget, this was just the beginning. It's not over. And that's why the devil is getting as bold as he's getting, because his time is limited. Watch what your children are watching, because they after our children. It's not a game. Not only is he after you, but he's after your child. And it's up to us to be watchful and mindful of the things that we allow our children to entertain, because he's after their soul. So, sad to say, this is just a wicked world that we live in, and it's only going to get worse. You know, I know some people going to be skeptical, want to push it to the side, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But I refuse to let my kids watch things like that. I refuse to turn my head as if I don't see what's going on, you know, and it's my job to put it out there. So that's what I'm doing. This is just a wicked world we live in, and it's only going to get worse, y'all. You know, it's only going to get worse. These are the last times we living in. So we got to be watchful. We got to be mindful. All right. We got to be watchful, and we got to be mindful. So I just wanted to leave y'all with that. Like, subscribe, share, leave your comments below. And y'all have a blessed day. I'll be back with more, all right?